Hi everybody, welcome back to Southern Adirondack Outdoors. Today we'll be talking about the 500i by Stihl. So I just got it recently, and if you haven't seen the video on the first impressions, check out the link down below or up here or wherever it's going to show up, and check out that first. Before we get into details, we're going to take a look at some clips of some fun I was having with some big stumps in the woods, and then some firewood that I had blocked up, as well as a poplar tree damaged in the storm that I fell to try out the felling capabilities. So I hope you enjoy. We'll see you back here in a little bit. Got a poplar tree here. It's about 16-18 inches diameter, and the top has broken out this last winter from a storm. Hoping to get some good lumber out of it from that dead branch down, and see how the 500i does felling as well. See you in a little bit. Well, that was probably the worst notch I ever made at felling a tree. I'm glad the camera wasn't any closer so you couldn't see details, but at least it went where I wanted it to and no one got hurt. And the wasn't Lasalle's fault. I think it was my fault for being anxious with the camera rolling, being on film. But so far, the Stihl 500i, what I like about it, its weight. In this current configuration here, you can see I took off the 20-inch bar and added a 25-inch light bar. It's made a world of difference in terms of usability. Be able to stand up and buck up firewood. A lot easier on the back that way. But the weight versus the horsepower is 6.7, I believe. Let me check. Yep, 6.7 versus on the 461, which is right down here, is 6 horsepower. So they're pretty much equal weight. With a 25-inch bar, the Stihl is a little slightly heavier, but pretty negligible difference. So I love the power and the weight ratio. Works really well. What I do not like is the wrap handle. I haven't really found a use for it. I can see how some people might like it, but if you have one, a 500i with a regular handle, I want to swap, let me know. I can swap them out and I'll take yours and you can have mine. Let's see. What else? I had to take some notes here so I wouldn't forget things. Let's see. I love the balance feel of it. You pick it up and it feels natural. It doesn't sag, doesn't go anywhere. It just, even with the longer bar, it stays level just holding it like this. Many times when you put a longer bar on, they tend to get nose heavy and do that a lot. But it's really good balance-wise. And the handle, even though it's different, let's see if I can get in here. It has a little bit odd shape here, which I thought at first, boy, that's going to be weird. But when you pick it up and use it, it feels fine. I don't even notice it. It just feels natural. So it's a difference, but seems to work well. Let's see. The smoothness. The anti-vibe on it is incredible. It's soft. You can saw all day and not have that tingly feel to your hands when you're done at the end of the day. And it just makes life a lot easier. But yet you can still get enough feel for what you're sawing to be able to guide the saw properly. So it works really good in that arena. Let's see, what do I not like about it? I did mention the wrap handle, but that was just a matter of selection at time purchase. That's about the only thing I could come up with. I did watch another YouTuber, Justin Pearson, has a YouTube channel, and he did a 1-year review on the saw. And he came up with a few other areas of concern. Let's see, he did it back in January, or February I think it was, and it was a 1-year review, so he must have bought it around January of 21. Changes may have been made by Stihl since then, because I haven't noticed many of his complaints on my saw. His biggest, I shouldn't say biggest, it's up to him to judge, but one of the first things he mentioned was the air filter. And how the new quick connect here, where it's just a quarter turn, doesn't seal as well as the older style, which is on 461, which is basically a screw that you screw it onto and you can tighten it up as much as you want. He's saying that fine sawdust gets sucked in through around this knob here and it doesn't seal properly. I haven't noticed that problem so far. Maybe I will in the future, but I haven't seen it so far. And it seems to mount pretty snugly as it is, so maybe it was a change that Stihl had made. Let's see. He seemed to like the anti-vibe, except for when it came to felling trees. For those of you who don't know, the anti-vibe isolates the engine from the handles, so you don't get as much vibration from the engine and the sawing action. Basically a bunch of rubber grommets and connectors and a couple springs that just keep it from vibrating your hands too much. Now he put a 33-inch bar on it, and when he's saying that when he's felling timber and you're holding the saw in this position, cutting a tree over here, that the bar sags because the anti-vibe is loose. The connections are soft, I should say, not loose necessarily, but soft. But he had a kit to remedy that. I haven't noticed it. Of course, I only have the 25-inch bar on mine, not the 33. So that hasn't been an issue for me. Let's see. This one I have noticed. Let me get this paper out of the way here. Had to make a cheat sheet today. Stihl redesigned this cover here. It used to come down a little bit farther and basically go straight across. You can see right here on the older saw, goes straight across there and covers up more of the sawdust exiting. Sawdust exit right here, hits this little deflector. And as I say, little deflector because it is smaller than they have been in the past. So the chips don't go nicely straight down to the ground. They tend to fly around a little bit. I've had a problem with that flying in your nose and in your eye, but it's not too bad. Something to get used to, I guess, but I don't have a problem with it, but it is something to think about. Otherwise, I really like the saw. In my opinion, all Stihl saws are great, but the 500i is nice. Now, if you had a 461 already, do you need a 500i? Not necessarily. The 461 is a great saw. You do get a little more power out of the 500i, but for the average user, that's what I am. I'm not a logger or anything. I do a lot of cutting, but I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination. But I could have done everything I need to do with the 461. But gotta have the newest and greatest, of course. So that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.